Hey beautiful people, thanks for tuning in. This is Uncut Gems with Slim, your weekly motivational push to dive deep into fulfilling your purpose, pursuing your passion, and expanding your capacity to become your best self.
When you're bad, when you need to find your purpose, come this way. Uncut Gems, Uncut Gems with Slim, yeah, that's her name. Uncut Gems, Uncut Gems with Slim, yeah, that's her name. Uncut Gems with Slim, yeah, that's her name.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Uncut Gems with Slim. I'm your host, Slim Reshae, and I'm super excited that you guys join me yet again for another episode. So this week we are about to kick off Vlogmas. If you don't know who I am and this is your first time tuning into the podcast, I don't know how you found me, but we are so glad that you are here. Hopefully a friend referred you or whatever, but my name is Jasmin and I am a natural hair and beauty influencer on YouTube and Instagram. So make sure you check me out on my main channel at Slim Reshae. And the reason why I'm doing this brief introduction is because if you don't know, I'm trying to get you ready because Vlogmas kicks off tomorrow, December the 14th. It goes through December the 25th. So this year I'm doing the 12 days of Vlogmas. I am super excited about it. Tomorrow we will be dropping the intro reveal, so make sure you head on over to my main channel so you can check it out. If you are listening via podcast on this beautiful Sunday morning or whenever you're listening to this, make sure you go ahead and check out my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my uploads, and also check out me on Uncut Gems with Slim on YouTube as well, so you can get all of this. Y'all are getting, the looks, okay? I know this is kind of like, well, it's very different from my usual podcast setup. I was honestly in here, I did my makeup because if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been doing a countdown to Vlogmas, and I've been doing different makeup looks every day since December 1st, leading up to Vlogmas, which starts tomorrow. And so this look I did post last week, but you're getting the look in motion, okay? So take this in. We got our bluish, orangish situations going on, but without further ado, we're gonna jump straight into this week's episode. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and the conversation we had just kind of flowed into a perfect topic for a podcast or for a podcast episode. And so I'm super excited to share this with you guys because it was very impactful in that moment. And so before we jump in, I just want to say, how are you? I hope you are doing well. If no one's asked you that today, I hope you're doing well. And if you're not, just stay strong. Keep going. Keep going. You are alive. You are well. And, make the best of whatever you got going on in your life. And just know that each day could be a step towards a new goal and a better you. So just keep it positive, fake it till you make it. If you're really feeling like bah humbug and you're not really feeling like motivated or anything, sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it and kind of fake be motivated, and then as you start doing stuff. So good example, if you're like, man, I don't want to work out like that, but you fake it till you make it. You start off going to the gym and you just be playing around, but you really ain't working out. But as you keep doing that and build that discipline of actually going to the gym, you'll start actually working out and getting them gains. So anyway, that's a prequel tangent that has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today. But today I want to talk about getting your hunger back. And so I was talking with my friend about this scenario where I felt like a lot of times we're like a plug in a socket. Sometimes when we're in limbo and we're just stuck in a state of I don't knows and I'm unsures instead of just doing it and just going for something. We're stuck in this place where we overthink and we second guess ourselves. And so I was using this example how sometimes it's like a plug in a socket. And you know how at night when you be trying to plug your phone charger into the wall and you just cannot find the plug. Like you know where the plug is on your wall because it's the same place it's always been. You know where it is. But 9 times out of 10, if it's at night and it's in the dark and you just trying to plug it, like you gonna keep missing. You gonna keep missing. And eventually you'll get it plugged in. And when you get it plugged in is when you have power. So the power immediately comes on just like that. And it's like, how many times are we that plug and we're just missing the mark? Just because you're missing the mark in that moment doesn't mean that you're not capable of having power or carrying the light that you are. Wow. So I'm gonna say that again. Just because you're that plug and you're missing the mark in the moment where it might seem like you're in a dark place, or you feel like you're in a dark place and things like that, and you're just like missing the mark. Just because you're missing the mark doesn't mean that you as the plug don't carry no power and you don't have no light in you. It's just you're missing the mark. But when you plug into that source, the Lord, hello. When you plug into the source, like you immediately, instantaneously have power. You have light. And so that's just something, wow, I don't know why I'm stepping. But that's just something to kind of take with you and know that just because you're not plugged in, just because you're not plugged in right now doesn't mean you don't have power. And so circling back to the idea of getting your hunger back, I was saying, you know, sometimes, you know, those people who have a lot of ideas and they're just idea-filled people, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then sometimes it's almost like insecure. Y'all remember Lawrence when he had like all these ideas, but he was just kind of like sitting on the couch and not really doing anything to make those ideas come to life. And it kind of circles back to a previous podcast that I did, and we talked about how vision and ideas are cousins, they're not twins. And so talking about ideas and someone who's having all these great ideas, it's like a lot of times we're able to do a thing. We're capable of doing a thing. We've done a thing before, so we know that we have the capacity to do it again and to do it even greater. But you can't just be able to do a thing. Like, you have to be willing to do the thing. So it's like, just like I used to work out, y'all. I did, and it was great. This pandemic came and I stopped. Am I able to work out? Yes, I'm fully able to work out. Am I willing to work out? Yes, but I'm not willing to the point where I'm doing something about it. And that's the point I want to encourage you guys to get to. Like, don't just be able to do a thing, but actually be willing to do it. And in order to get to a point where you're willing to do a thing and like put that action behind your faith, 2 things: intentional discipline and intentional pursuit. And I thought that's just so good, because a lot of times we're able to do a thing. We think we're willing to do a thing, but we don't have intentional discipline towards that thing. We don't have intentional pursuit. And I just want to encourage you guys to like take that thing serious. Like, if it's something that you want to do, take it serious. Have intentional discipline and like set steps that you can take, you know, step by step to get towards that thing that you're trying to do. And that leads also into intentional pursuit. You can't just set the steps, but you actually have to walk them out. If you have a map in front of you, if you turn on your GPS, until you crank up the car and go, or until you start walking with your 2 feet, okay? Until you start walking that path, you're not going to get anywhere. And so that's where intentional pursuit comes into play. Circling back, I still ain't told y'all why today's episode is called Get Your Hunger Back. The main thing, when I was having this conversation, I was just like, man, like when you have all these ideas and things like that, it reminds me of when you're perfect example, you know, Thanksgiving just passed, Christmas is coming up, and you know how you have like a nice spread of food just, you know, laid out in front of you, right? That spread of food is kind of like all these ideas that you might have like popping in and out of your head all the time, stuff that you write down in your journal. It's like all of this fine spread of food is equivalent to like your ideas that you might have, and it's like you have a table set before you, but you aren't hungry. Like you're starving. You want it. You want to be this place. You want to be in this position. You want to be where your end goals are. You want to be married. You want to have a family. You want to be a millionaire. You want to build generational wealth. You want to be a top executive at your company. You want to be a director. The list goes on and on. You want to be all these things, and you're starving for that. But are you hungry? Are you hungry enough to get out there and have intentional pursuit towards that thing? Are you hungry enough to intentionally be disciplined to work towards that thing? Or are you just starving? Are you sitting in front of a table where there's plenty of food that you could be fed and you could be eating good, but are you hungry enough to eat it? Y'all feel me? Are y'all flowing with me? So yeah, I just want to encourage you guys this week to get your hunger back. Get your hunger back. Quit just coasting through life. Quit sitting at the table depriving yourself of nutrition. Man, quit sitting at the table depriving yourself of nutrition, because when you do this, you're now making yourself malnourished. You can't be good for anyone else because you're not good for you. Man, listen. Quit starving yourself. Quit sitting at this table full of food, full of opportunities. Quit just, you know, you gotta get your hunger back. Like, you gotta get your hunger back. Like, quit playing with your potential. Quit playing with your potential. Because potential gonna be just that. Unless you do something with it. Unless you make it kinetic energy by busting a move. Okay, so this week, I just want to encourage you guys to get your hunger back. It's time. It's past time. But, you know, better late than never. Get your hunger back. It's time to eat, and eat good. It's time to nourish ourselves, okay? We no longer starving. Get your hunger back. Quit playing. That's all I got. I ain't write notes. I just jotted down a few key tips from our conversation, but a lot of times you're starving, but you're not hungry. And I want you guys to get your hunger back. So that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We got a different little vibe going on. She's giving me very much, don't you want to, Fanta? You know, I had my house robe on, child, because I've been doing my makeup at night after I get off work. And so I just been doing these bomb looks and having on like my house robe with my pajamas. But make sure you head on over to Instagram so you can check out all the looks that I've done thus far, and make sure you subscribe to my main channel, Slim Reshae, so you do not miss a day of Vlogmas. I'm telling you, it's gonna be great. I'm super excited. I love y'all so very much. Thank you for tuning in, and until next week. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, and feel free to connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Slim Reshae. That's SlimReshae. Links will be listed in the show notes, and until next time, love yourself and be beautiful.